Okay, hello everyone, it's me, ZerothGhost, and we're here with Magic the Gathering Online. I have to apologise, simply because Fraps and this particular game do not get on well at all. They hate each other. I'm not sure why, but yeah, you can probably see already, there's some like weird stuff going on here. Where you can actually see the frame count on my Fraps. There's nothing I can do about that. It doesn't really interfere anyway, so please just deal with it. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So here I am. I'm going to show you a couple of games of Magic the Gathering. They were very quick. I'm not sure why, to be honest, because as you can probably see, this is my deck, and it's panty pants. It was literally, I got given a load of cards when I started for free. At this point, I hadn't spent any money on it, and I just went, I'll just throw everything that's vaguely useful in there. And it's some sort of weird, sort of ish Bloodthirst deck that isn't really. It's got some like removal in there, and yeah, it's not very good at all. But there's the brief introduction. I'm just going to jump straight into the games. They were very quick. I managed to get 2 into this video. So yeah, let's jump straight in there. Alright, so to start off I have to apologise for the random pauses that are going to happen in this game, because I had, and just look at this, I want to put a swamp down, but it's not letting me. Basically, I hadn't looked at any of the like instructions, and I was just going straight for it, and it wasn't happening. But first turn, not very eventful for the opponent, but I managed to get out a first turn Tormented Soul. I like Tormented Soul. I've liked it ever since it came out in 2012. Although I have recently discovered in playing it in my current deck that it can't really do much. It doesn't really affect the game all that much unless you give it something incredible like a Lash Ride and it starts beating on the opponent for 7 a turn. But second turn, nothing from the opponent again, so I drop down another Swamp, and in true Bloodthirst style, Tormented Soul really shines as its the purpose that it was created for, which is pretty obviously a Bloodthirst enabler. For anyone who doesn't know, Bloodthirst is if the opponent is dealt damage during the turn, Bloodthirst creatures come out with counters on them that make them more powerful. So, demonstrating that right now, here comes a Dusk Hunter Bat, I think. Oh no, I didn't do it that time because I'm an idiot. Oh, and so I think I was holding Doomblade just in case they played something. There you go, there's pop in another damage. And here comes Dusk Hunter Bat. A turn late, but never mind. So it goes around to their turn again. And I'm gonna admit, these two games, nothing much really happens. It's yeah, I didn't really want to go into higher levels because my deck is so bad. But I didn't realise that there would be some people who are, well, I don't know. I don't know whether they were inept or they just don't have knowledge of what's a good hand and what's a bad hand. Because they're just people who play stuff. Hey, here comes a Plague Stinger. At this point, I'm thinking, shite, it's an Infect deck. And everyone does that with Infect decks. Infect decks are horrible and annoying. For anyone who doesn't know, Infect decks only have to deal 10 damage to an opponent to kill them rather than 20. Because they're horrible like that. They also can do permanent damage to enemy creatures, rather than stuff that heals at the end of the turn. So I'm thinking, how do I deal with this? I'm looking at the 2 shocks in my hand and thinking I haven't got any red mana, balls, but then I realise that there's a Manolith in my hand. Pop that in. It's an artifact that generates 1 of any colour. So essentially I'm playing a shock for 4, but it's okay, because it gets rid of his only defender. And so, straight in for another 3 damage. That was weird. And it goes into the red zone and bang, down to 15. I really like this hand, because it is just effectively a handful of answers, and I believe I get to use them all, which is quite fun. This opponent didn't really get a chance to do much. But they play their second spell of the game, which is a Rampant Growth to get more land. And here I come, Goblin Fireslinger. Goblin Fireslinger is the red Bloodthirst enabler, which just basically does 1 damage to an opponent. But there we go, there's another 3 damage in there. And then out he comes. The opponent really is on the clock now. He's got 12 life and I'm doing 4 damage a turn. He's on a 3-turn clock. So let's see what he can come up with. If I remember correctly, it's not much. The waiting is intense. Come on, Frozen Psyche, we're waiting on you. Takes his sweet time, obviously thinking about his moves carefully. But here it comes. Is it going to be something groundbreaking? It's a Corpse Cur. What Corpse Cur does is when it enters the battlefield, you can choose a creature with Infect from your graveyard and put it back in your hand. So obviously he's going to go for the Plague Stinger that I blew up, and that jumps back into his hand. In any normal situation, I'd be thinking, oh god, I hate Corpse Cur. It's a 2-2 with Infect that can do that. But fortunately, I have a Manic Vandal in my hand. What Manic Vandal's a 2-2 man who, when he comes out, he destroys an artifact. So out he comes straight away. There was no thoughts about what that play was going to be. It was just literally, you know, bye Corpse Cur. But now I'm not really sure. This is when I kind of lose touch of what's going on. How do I play this game? The system of Magic Online, like the interface, I feel is a bit dated. It could really do with some work, I think, but it does the job, so never mind. So we can go my 2 attacking men for another 3 damage. I think I hold on to Goblin Fireslinger until the end of their turn, just in case. I'm not sure why though. More waiting. Except that wasn't waiting on me to press the OK button. So I did tell you I wasn't sure how this game works. What do they offer up now? Offer up to be defeated. Oh ho ho ho. In comes the Plague Stinger that was returned from the graveyard. Enters the field. In any normal situation I'd be thinking, oh bollocks. But I've got another Shock in my hand, I've got a Fireball in my hand, and I've got a Doomblade in my hand. And here comes a Flenner Smite, who is pretty annoying, Infect and Lifelink, but I'm not worried. In the end phase of their turn, in goes Goblin Fireslinger. I'm like, what do I do? But there we go, click the portrait and bam, there's another damage right there. I have a feeling that the opponent's like, it's okay, I'm only on 8 life, but I've got 2 blockers, it's fine. But no, here comes a Shock. Taking out the Plague Stinger. And all that's left to deal with is Flenner Smite. And I kind of got a bit fancy play here. I was thinking, I know what I can do. I can attack them. That's it, no, I can use Fireball to do damage to Flenner Smite and to the opponent, and then attack the game. But I don't think I get the chance. As soon as the Fireball is about to come down, he scoops, and it's game over. So let's move on to the second one. And we've got a slightly worse hand this time, because I haven't really got any early creatures. So I mulligan down to yeah, I've got 2 swamps in there, so I can play Child of Night and Sorin's Thirst as a bit of removal. So let's see what happens. First turn he drops an island. Nothing really exciting there, but you don't have to play a card on your first turn. It's generally not important, depending on how fast the deck is. So if you've got a deck that relies heavily on the late game, then 1-drops really aren't a priority. But the issue with this guy is he drops another island and nothing happens again. So I just drop down my 2nd mana and play a Child of Night. Child of Night's pretty nice. She's a 2-1 vampire with lifelink. And basically what that means is if you deal damage with her, you gain that much life. So you're effectively looking at a gap of 4 every turn. She's allowed to go unchecked. So down comes a Mountain, and you'll be able to see this demonstrated now as I go in with Child of Night. It's always worrying when you're playing blue though, because blue has access to all sorts of things like Unsummon, Boomerang, you got counter spells, so I was always kind of on my toes. But the attack went through, I don't know why I didn't play the bat, because that could have come in as a 2/2 then. And I mistakenly thought that I could target players with Sorin's Thirst. That was a bit silly. But here I am. I drew another Child of Night. I got 4 in this deck, I think. Here we go. Go in for another 2. This guy unfortunately doesn't get to mount a bit of defence. I believe I asked him at the end if he got colour screwed, and the idea is he's playing blue-white, and he's not got any white. Ah! A turn late again, but here comes the Dusk Hunter Bat with a 2/2. Dusk Hunter Bat's really nice because he's flying. Creatures with evasion abilities are always very useful. Flying creatures can only be blocked by other creatures with flying, so a lot of decks don't run any flying, which can make them a problem. There's a nice big attack here, and bang! 11 plays 26, and still no response from the other player. These games were they were fun for me, because I was like, yeah, wailing on noobs, but at the same time, it was a bit like, well, there's no challenge here. But this video is really just to show you my first games, and how, my first experience, because this was literally, I opened the game, I threw the deck together, and then I just went straight in there and recorded it. I've built a new deck now. I actually spent some money and got a couple of the Innistrad Vampire deck, and threw them together, so hopefully the next video will be a little bit more exciting. I've tried a few games with it, and it's alright, the games have been pretty fun. Anyway, yes, he finally got his first plains, and dropped a Griffin. Was it a Griffin? Yeah, it is, I think. But it doesn't matter, because I just Doomblade it. So down comes the 4th land. Drew a Gravedigger, but I've got no creatures in my graveyard, because they haven't got rid of anything, so I just smack him again. And this is me forgetting that I have to click the OK button to end the declare blocker step. Oh, come on, man. There we go. Well done. Down to 6, and then out comes Child of Night. There it is, the GG. And I don't. No, I went to go and say GG, but I didn't want to be a bit of a dick about it, because I know that I've won pretty much. There's not much that you can do to get back from this. I mean, there comes the Benelish Veteran, but I've got Sorin's Thirst in my hand. So I just I politely asked him if he was a colour screw, because it quite obviously was, seeing as he played nothing until he got a white land, and as soon as he got that white land, white creatures started turning up. So I think he probably just didn't think that he'd get colour screwed so badly, which can happen. A lot of people are afraid to mulligan, I think that's the trouble. I very rarely mulligan below 5. But here we go, this is the final attack, I believe. Well, you'd hope so, he's only got 6 life. And bang! There we go, -1 plays 34, and that's my 2 games for the day.